Boxer calls Terence Crawford Chinny. Says he believes that Terence Crawford may have chin issues in a fight with Errol Spence Jr. That's what I will talk about right here in this video. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you come in, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Listen, SLC. Memorize that acronym, SLC. Subscribe, then you like, and then you comment. So everybody should go through that SLC before they click on my videos. Now, the Boxing Voice, TBV, the link is in the description. They did an interview with a fighter, and that fighter, Ethan Smith, was asked several questions on the podcast. He's a live in-studio guest. He's a boxer, and he basically stated that he believes that Terence Crawford is a bit chinny. So it sounded like he was siding with Errol Spence Jr. in the undisputed fight we all want to see, the undisputed Spence versus Crawford. So this right here broke the ice, and I want to open the floodgates to have the conversation about Terence Crawford. And does he have chin issues? My thing is this. I'm realistic in terms of boxing. Your brain, your face, your skull was not intended to receive like bludgeoning blows and blunt force trauma. So nobody really truly loves to get hit in the face and these types of things. However, there are some people that, from a boxing perspective, deal with it a bit better, right? Guys like Shane Mosley had a great chin. You have Vander Holyfield, Marvin Hagler, a lot of guys, right? A lot of guys had these crazy chins, throughout boxing, where in their prime, they were hard to stop. Antonio Margarito had a great chin, stuff like that. So does Crawford, is he chinny? I mean, it's kind of hard to say fully like 100% because Crawford keeps kicking butt and taking names. But I will say this. I believe that Errol Spence Jr. has showed more durability, right? I think in his fights, he's taking shots well when he was hit. And, that's kind of that. Versus you do look at, there's Terence Crawford, there's tall tales. Like, for example, when Terence Crawford had the altercation with Gary Russell Jr., I wasn't there for it. But I've heard accounts, and there's one account from someone who's no longer here with us that passed away since this. Their account, and I don't like to speak too much about situations where people can't, defend themselves or they're not here to elaborate and stuff like that. But really quickly, Terence Crawford, Gary Russell had whatever issue, and Gary Russell punched him. I don't know the details. I don't know if it's a sucker punch or whatever. But the telling that I remember hearing was that it really rocked Terence Crawford, right? Like he was rocked and buckled. But again, I wasn't there. Don't know if it's true. Don't know how it all played out. And, boxing, they say it's the shots you don't see get the best of you. So, it's possible. But that was one of the stories. I wish, it would end the whole conversation if the situation was like on tape or something and we all got to see it, but that's just the reality of it. So there's that situation. I will say I have seen Crawford kind of get noticeably affected in his fights. I think it was Thierry Jean fight where he almost got not stopped, but he got stopped in his tracks. That's what I was trying to say. And he got hit with some pretty big shots. The reason this becomes paramount and something that's a talking point is because of boxing is all about the stylistic matchup. And when I feel you have two great fighters like Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. that match up very well and their styles should gel to make an awesome fight for the fans, then when it comes to a fight prediction, you're going to have to rely on the little minor, minuscule, and often overlooked nuanced things to determine who wins this type of fight. That's the type of fight I truly see. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I see attributes within Crawford that I'm like, okay, that could give Errol Spence a lot of problems, beat Errol Spence. But then I also see from Errol Spence's side, I see angles where I'm like, okay, that's gonna give or could give Terence Crawford a lot of problems. So it's really one of those fights where it's a pick 'em fight for real. Just as the name suggests, pick 'em. You just pick one, and then that's what it is. My thing is, I'm gonna keep saying this. I think there's a lot of people who, if we're talking about boxing commentary, like we have boxing in the world of boxing, we got people who are being interviewed or have a job as a commentator, and you would hope to expect to get eloquent conversations and, you know, maybe just talking points that you didn't think of. That's great commentary, because it's like, oh, that's a good point. Crawford did do this in, 9 years ago, or this did happen, or Errol Spence does have this. And insightful, is maybe a good word to use. But I'll be honest, a lot of the Crawford conversations that I've seen from these interviews where the people who are picking Crawford, their argument, I'm not saying it's invalid because we really won't know that until they fight. But a lot of what I've seen, it seems like almost like a SOS, like they're giving Terence Crawford what they think he should do to beat Errol Spence more than, hey, I watch all of Crawford's fights and I think this is his style. This is what he will do. You see what I'm saying? And it is hard to quantify, and I guess we won't ultimately know until they fight, but I've seen a lot of that. It's like they're coaching him to what they think would beat Errol Spence more than, hey, Crawford, he does this in every fight and he shows this in every fight. Like, I'm seeing a lot of commentary and they're saying stuff like, Crawford, he's the masterclass boxer. Crawford, he uses this footwork and things like that. And I said it earlier, at best, maybe if we're talking about 35 or 40, but this crafty, enigmatic footwork at welterweight, what fight are people referring to where they really felt that that's how he achieved the victory? And I'm not saying he has bad feet, because there's guys like Canelo. Like, to me, Canelo Alvarez has, I call them cement shoes or cement feet, where Canelo is slow-footed. I don't think Crawford is slow-footed at all. I think part of his game is an insane willingness to compete, an insane willingness to be the best and push himself. And he has a mean competitive streak, and he's very athletic with speed and with power, cat-like cunning, things like that. So for me, especially in the welterweight division, I look at Crawford as an athletic boxer puncher. I don't look at him and view him at the welterweight picture and category, based on what I've seen, as this Pernell Whitaker of sorts and this cunning masterclass boxer where he's gonna tidy work and he's gonna do it like that. Crawford is mean and outright like he's gritty. He's like a gritty fighter, which is cool. Everybody has their own fight style and so on and so forth. So I don't have a problem with that. But again, when I'm hearing breakdowns, I want to be enlightened. I want to know why you're picking this person, why you're picking this person. And a lot of what I've heard in favor of Crawford, it's stuff that I haven't really recently seen him execute or do. Like, that's not why he, in my opinion, why he achieved the victory over Porter or Benavidez or whoever. However, just like Ethan, and when he's telling TBV why he's picking Errol Spence Jr., the people who I have seen that are picking Errol, their actual breakdown of the fight, to me, seems more indicative of what Errol Spence is doing and what he showed in recent fights. If you somehow, some way disagree, please let me know in the comment section what you disagree with, because we live in a time where a lot of people want to disagree just for the sake of disagreeing. And again, this is a 50-50 fight, pick 'em fight, any guy can win. I'm more so concerned, as always, with the breakdown and how you arrived at that answer, like a math problem. It's not just that you have the right answer. You could have cheated. You could have got that from anywhere. You could have guessed, you know what I mean? Show your work. And that's what I'm asking for people in boxing. Show your work. If you feel this and you're the expert on boxing, you know, show the work and use examples. Like, I don't just get on here and bump my gums and not use examples. So again, when I see and hear these recent breakdowns, and I haven't heard everybody's breakdown. Maybe there's one out there that's so great, I just got to hear it and hear their argument. But so far, as of me recording this video, I really feel like the people who have said stuff like concerns of why they're picking Errol over Crawford, they show Crawford a ton of respect, but then they're like, oh, but he's bigger and Errol Spence punches harder. They're saying stuff that, to be honest, it looks like more true to Errol Spence's style. And if you don't believe me, just please go listen to some of the boxing commentaries. People are saying, oh, you know, Mike Tyson said Crawford will beat Errol because of Sean Porter got stopped by Crawford and Errol Spence had a war with Crawford. But that's a triangle theory. That doesn't tell you who's going to win and the outcome. Because real quick, in the lightweight division, Lomachenko loses to Teofimo. Teofimo loses to George Kambosos. And George Kambosos just lost and got dominated by Devin Haney. And I really believe, no offense, no taking nothing away from Devin Haney, I really, truly believe if Lomachenko fought Kambosos, I think he would have beat him the way Kambosos looked. So how is it that Lomachenko would lose to Teofimo and then Kambosos beats Teofimo, but I don't see Kambosos beating Lomachenko based on the style matchup? This is too easy for me. Subscribe to the channel. I'm clearly the best that's ever lived when it comes to boxing talk in the digital age. Let me know what you guys think. It's Terence Crawford Chinny. Let me know something. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with a $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.